Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. Quick advertisement right at the start. If you want to support this channel, you can do by going to Patreon. The description is just below this video, and you can support me for $1, euro or pound a month, as little as that, and that really goes to the running costs of the channel and is greatly appreciated. Now, Beyond the Door 3 from Vinegar Syndrome is a movie that I wasn't really too sure what I was getting. I'd seen the first movie, but I knew that this was just a sequel in title only, and we are thrown into this character of Beverly, this woman who has one of the biggest birthmarks ever to have been seen on film, which covers pretty much from her navel to her chest, in a giant kind of horned U. Is a little bit of an outcast in her school. She's about to go on a school trip to an Eastern European country. When she gets there, the professor seems a little bit odd, takes a kind of shine to her, and takes this group of people to a kind of woodland people who live in kind of shacks and are a cult who are going to instantly attack these people and try to kill them all off. There is like no preamble in this one. It's got some heavy 80s Italian vibe about it, and I love it because of that. It's just bonkers. It jumps into this tale which I thought was going to take place within these huts in the woods, and it doesn't do that. Instantly, there is this wonderful scene of someone causing fire to start within these shacks with all the kids locked in it. Once they escape, they're on the run, and before long they're on a train trying to escape from this cult mob who are destined to give Beverly to the devil to be his wife. And it becomes almost a version of Unstoppable, the Tony Scott movie. We're based on this train, and I do love train movies, so it came as a pleasant surprise when I discovered that the rest of the movie was pretty much going to take place on this train. We have our ragtag group of kids, you know, the kind of actors that are in their mid-30s but playing 16, 17. They're on this train, they're trying to deal with things. We have Beverly, who's suddenly coming to the realisation that she has been marked for the devil and seems to have some kind of abilities that cause the most crazy and ludicrous gore sequences to her compadres throughout this journey. It's crazy. It's the kind of bonkers that I just love, loosely, very loosely tied together, just to give some wonderful gore and some fantastic set pieces. And the gore is fantastic in this one. There is an awesome scene of a head slowly splitting apart. There is a man literally exploded between the couplings of a train, and that's just a couple for starters. This movie had everything that I possibly wanted. Everything that I didn't even realise I wanted. Haunted the dream sequences, gore and blood by the bucket full. Crazy characters that are just there and seem extremely odd. There is this shrouded man who plays a flute throughout much of the movie, and it's never really explained who he is until the final turn of the page at the end of the movie, where it's like, aha. And even the way Beverly is helped out of this situation is extremely crazed. But again, I love it because of that. It has all these wonderfully crazy side characters like Professor, who is just one of these overly malevolent characters played by Bo Svensson, no less, and he is just wonderful in that role. You have these ominous sequences of this cult of people just walking through the woods, banging stones together. Doesn't sound particularly menacing, but to see it in action is really thrilling. You get some wonderful miniature work here as well. There's lots of action done with the train, which they simply couldn't do, and they've recreated it in miniature form. And although it is obvious that it's miniatures, it's exceedingly well done. One of my particularly favourite subplots in this one, which is unnecessary, is when two of the teenagers are thrown from the train and they're trying to make their way through this wasteland, and their finale becomes so unnecessary, and their whole story becomes so superfluous to the actual main story that you've got to wonder, was it just there to pad out some of the running time, to add a little bit of menace and scares into the plot? But their finale and what happens to them is just truly bonkers, but utterly wonderful at the same time. Beyond the Door 3 was exactly the kind of movie that I was looking for and didn't even realise it. So much fun, so much blood, so much inconsistencies, and that finale that it has was just wonderfully set up. I loved the way it played out. I felt it was incredibly hilarious, especially when the witch member of the cult declares that statement at the end. I was cheering. It was such fun. I'd love to know your thoughts on Beyond the Door 3. I think I actually prefer that to Beyond the Door, to be fair, because it's just a hell of a lot more fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.